Well, we are here for the second event of the NASCAR Pinty Series fictional season. Yesterday we had our first event at CTMP. It was pretty well dominated by Kevin Lacroix, who was out in front for the entire event, but obviously we're going to a different track and not a large road course. Instead, we are going to a short track, so that will definitely play a role in whether or not he has a dominant event. So we're going to get going here. The race itself, obviously, we're not going to do a full event of 250 laps or anything like that. It'd be a little long. So we're going to do 150 laps around this racetrack. And we get started right now here at Autodrome, Montmagny. And I have to say it slowly because I keep butchering it. We actually haven't been to this racetrack before in real life, so we have to kind of make our adjustments as we can. 150 laps. I'm going to take down the just to 100 strength, just so that it hopefully doesn't go nuts in terms of like cars getting into the wall and such, which it tends to do that when you do have crazy settings. Obviously, we've taken from we can't really take from real life stats because we've never been at this track before. So excuse me. We actually used I actually used statistics from 2019's race at Chaudier, and that's mainly because in terms of comparison, this is probably the most comparable track to Montmagny based off of just from what I've been told from some Quebec fans. So that is what we are going to do here. So we got 150 laps, going to make it clear. Yellows, everything's kind of the way that we need it. So we're going to continue on here. A little bit smaller of a track than what we have. And what we're going to do is we're just going to go straight to the race. So we're going to find out right now your starting grid for this race.
Drivers, to your cars.
So your pole sitter is Alex Tagliani, the number 18. He's got the Heineken sponsorship. Rafael Lassar making a off start here in the series. Will be alongside Trayton Lapsevich and Brandon Watson, Pete Shepard, Shea Gemmell, Kevin Lacroix, and J.R. Fitzpatrick. And then in row number 5 is Andrew Ranger. And making a return to the series in the DGM number 90 is Alex LeBay. DJ Kennington and LP Dumoulin share row number 6. Row number 7 is Donald Teague and Brett Taylor, while row number 8 we have Alex Gannett and Cole Powell. Row number 9 has Gary Clute running the full season and Marc-Antoine Camerant. Row number 10 has Mark Dilley along with Larry Jackson. On row 11, it's Matthew Kingsbury who makes his return to the series, and the 92 of Dexter Stacy. Row number 12, Carson Nagy and rookie Kyle Steckley will start, funny enough, in 24th in the 24 car. Rounding out our field is Sam Fellows in the number 98, Garrett Tiemersma in the number 67, Malcolm Strawn in the 56, and the 61 is Brent Weller. So 28 cars will take to the track today. Not making the trip today is TJ Rinomato. So right now we have our set field of drivers. We're going to go straight in here. They're just going to do a bit of a countdown, and we're going to get going here. We're going to put our camera on Alex Tagliani. The Heineken colors here. Now, the reason why this sponsorship was one that I decided to put on his car was because he's got Heineken helping out as a sponsor for his e-karting facility. So naturally, you'd think a good partnership there. The 07, you've got to have some Rafael Lassard content in this series. He's always entertaining. Trayton Lapsevich and Brandon Watson, 2 young stars that are very fast. Pete Shepard, Shea Gemmell, always good on these short treks. Kevin Lacroix and J.R. Fitzpatrick. Can't count those guys out at all. And, of course, Andrew Ranger with Alex LeBay. Would love to see actually the DGM guys run up here for a little bit, but Tagliani, of course, had a fantastic year last year in the NASCAR Pinty Series. Unfortunately, his last races at Delaware Speedway were a complete disaster, and unfortunately, he lost the championship in the final weekend, despite having a pretty consistent season all up to that point. So we'll see how he does in this race today. 150 laps. We'll see how the field goes. I mean, the ratings, like I said, it'll be probably a little bit different. TJ Renamoto, of course, was entered in this race as well, but it's always kind of tricky when it tells you how many cars can fit on the track, because it always includes your own. So it was a bit of a misjudgment on my part there. So Renamoto not going to be in this race here today, but not something that we haven't seen before. Renamoto has done this when we went to St. Eustache before. Kerry Mix drove for him, and it just kind of, that was the case. So we're going to be getting pretty close to the start of race time, and I'm going to make sure I get to the right screen here so that I can see how much time I have left, because they do the command in this game, which is kind of cool, and it'll be fun. Honestly, it'll be very fun. I mean, we don't go to this track, so I don't really know how often we'll see here. You see some of the statistics here. Take a look at the info. Not much information in here, so it's not much we can really see, unfortunately. Something I'd love to be able to do is to do updates to the tracks and do all that type of stuff through Sandbox. It's a lot more complicated than I think people realize. Obviously, for a game that came out so many years ago, the fact that this game is still around and still kicking after all these years is amazing. It's lost a lot of its community in the last couple of years, but obviously there's still some of us that are trying to keep it alive. And Phil Ronald, Jerry Hall, for what they do for the Pinty Series, just got to thank them. Phil Ronald at Underdog Creative put together the 2021 schemes, and is actually now working on the APC Series schemes. So here we go for the command.
Drivers, start your engines!
Green flag is out. We are underway at Autodrome Montmagny. Green flag is out. Alex Tagliani takes the lead, but Lessard's going to battle with him on the outside. A little hard to see here from this camera view, so we're not going to stay here for long, but it is going to be Tag that's leading lap number 1. Lapsevich into third place. He's going to take a look to the inside of Lessard as well. Some really cool shots here from this track, and we're on board with Tagliani. He's clearly into the lead. Lessard into second, Lapsevich third, and it looks like Shepard on the inside of Watson in the battle for fourth. And he will take it. No real competition there. So the Heineken Viagra number 18 for Alex Tagliani is out in front. The 07 of Raphael Lessard and the Canac Dodge for Dumoulin Competition sits in second place. The Monster Energy number 20 for Trayton Lapsevich is in third. Of course, we will go through the field a couple of times in this race. See where every driver is running. You'll also see there will be alternative schemes each week. Some of these sponsorships you will see in the NASCAR Pinty Series. Others we'd love to see come aboard. To the back of the field we'll go, and here is Kyle Steckley dropping to the back of the field. The rookie here, Brent Weller, going to the inside in the number 61. Hopefully we get to see Kyle Steckley in some races this year. Of course, he won in his APC Series event last year, Flamborough Speedway. Pretty dominant performance, actually. Making his way up there and winning. Can't remember if it was his first or if his second start, but it was pretty dominant. His buddy Trayton Lapsevich finishing second to him. And then Trayton was ending up winning that last race at Delaware Speedway. Dexter Stacy here to the inside of Larry Jackson. Just ahead of them, it's a struggling, actually, Marc-Antoine Cameron in the 22. As Garrett Tiemersma goes to his inside. Malcolm Strawn and Cole Powell. Just ahead of them, Brett Taylor looking to the inside of Sam Fellows in the Sunoco 98. Here early in this event. Of course, Malcolm Strawn ran last season for Jim Bray Racing, as did his teammate Sam Fellows. Funny enough, these two are right beside each other at CTMP in the first event, and now they're right near each other once again here at Autodrome Montmagny. Battle here is Carson Nagy in the AC Delco throwback, going to the inside of three-time champion LP Dumoulin on the Bellwether Tech Dodge. Beautiful paint base there by RAH. Of course, that's where I get a lot of bases to run on these cars. I don't have the knowledge to make the angles and the certain paint schemes. Of course, Carson's uncle Alex drove the AC Delco car and cast car for so many years ago. Mark Dilley here, Matthew Kingsbury battling. J.R. Fitzpatrick and Gary Clute. Fitzpatrick a little bit struggling here early at Autodrome. And just ahead of them is Alex Gannett here in the 52. And the one thing they got to watch here is these top drivers are, they're the really fast ones on the short tracks, and you got to be careful because you can go a lap down early here at the short tracks. And of course, in this type of situation, this simulation, there is no lucky dog. So you will have to line up. There's single file restarts. You have to line up on the inside line and try and get your lap back the hard way. As it appears, we are under caution. So, not sure where the issue is on track, but the yellow is out. There's no evident wreck. Now, what you can have is this situation here with the bunching. You see how everybody's kind of getting squashed? So this is kind of an issue that you get with this game, is at certain tracks, the bunching, they bunch up in one corner. But we'll have to see here. I'm going to have to pull back and get to the results page and see if there was somebody that's lost a lot of positions in the actual race. And it looks like it's Shea Gemmell who was up in the top 5. So we're going to review this. We're going to go bring him back here. And he's now a lap down in the 8 car. Oh, and he was way off the track. Look at this. Oh, he got sent. Oh, here we go. There is contact. We didn't have any contact in the last event at CTMP, but let's take a look here. It's Donald Teege just in front of him, and at this time, let's take a look. It was 10th place. Gemmell was going for 9th, and I don't know if this is just a misjudgment or what, but he completely bumps the 80 car of Teege, and Teege loses it and spins and gets right into Gemmell, and that sends Gemmell off the track. Now again, this isn't like those great games of current time where the boundaries and everything restrict the car from going through and going the wrong way. So he's off the track here. As you see, he's past these markers on the outside of the track where the trucks and the ambulances are. You see, there's Tej getting away from the accident scene. But what can happen is cars basically get lost in the background. And that's what's going to happen here, is that his car is going to get lost. So go a little bit full speed. He's going to go over the hill here. Still over the hill. He's got no idea where he's got to go. So he comes down, and there's some sort of a glitch here. But you'll see what happens is then he ends up over here. So that's why the caution flag has come out. And that's what really stacked the field up, is he pulled out in front of Trayton Lapcevich. So he is a lap down, Shea Gemmell. So one caution here early on lap number, it looks like lap 20 maybe is when it came out. But we're going to watch tag here on this restart. Gemmell, Lessard, Lapcevich, Shepard, and Ranger behind. And like we said before, there's no free pass here, so Gemmell's got to get his lap back the hard way. Green flag back out here. Restart number 1, and it's Tagliani that's going to sneak away here, but to the inside goes Gemmell. Here comes Lapcevich to the inside of Lessard. Down into 3, going to stay to the high side. Gemmell runs him up just a little bit, and here they go to the start-finish line. Still not clear for Shea Gemmell. Here comes Lapcevich, still looking to the inside of Lessard, and that Monster Energy number 20. Ooh, Gemmell really forcing it in there on Tagliani. And Gemmell technically there is back on the lead lap, but he's got to clear the 18, and he will off of turn number 2. So Shea Gemmell doing the hard work here as the 18 sends it into 3, trying to get the run off the corner to get by Gemmell, but Gemmell is clear. Lapcevich now into second place, and he's going to look after chasing his teammate Tagliani. Lessard back into third place. Now, if Gemmell can catch another caution, it will put him back on the lead lap. So we'll have to see. There was about 20 laps before we had a caution in this very first race at Autodrome Montmagny. We've got Shepard looking underneath Lessard. That's the battle for third. We're staying right now at the front of the field because of the closeness of Trayton Lapcevich and the Monster Energy Quick Wick number 20. And of course, the battle there for third. Interesting as well. We'll take a look there. Side by side, Pete Shepard. And 7 in the 07. Here comes Shepard. Andrew Ranger and clear. Well, not exactly. Here comes Lessard back on the high side. He's going to fight it down into 3. But Shepard still has a good run on the inside. Kennington is behind the 51 Jean Coutu Ford of Ranger. And it looks like Shepard is now clear into 3 this time. Oh, contact there. Lessard ran into the right rear of Shepard, but that will allow the 7 car to be clear. You don't want to do that and give yourself damage that you'll have to pit for. So hopefully that doesn't, that's not enough damage there. Hopefully there isn't damage there. There's Trayton Lapcevich now back into second place, and the field now at the front of the field has been spread out just enough that we can go to the back here. This Shea Gemmell running ahead of the leaders. So if a caution comes out, he will get that lap back, get back a chance to potentially have a good finish here. Not a good start, unfortunately, for him. There's Brent Weller running at the back of the field in the 27th place. And then Dexter Stacy, Garrett Teemersma. Got Larry Jackson. Just ahead of him is Sam Fellows. There's the 80 car of Donald Teach. He's been able to move his way back up through the field here just a little bit so far. So there's Teach in the number 80. He's got Malcolm Strawn in the 56. He's got the Jim Bray sandwich. Kyle Steckley is also now on the move You saw him earlier in the race at the back of the field. As Tej now looking to the inside of Strawn. It's Nagy and Steckley just ahead of them. Here comes Steckley to the inside. Going to try and get the run. This seems to be what we've seen so far, as the car on the outside gets a good run into 3, but isn't able to hold it and get the position off of 4. Nagy's still there in the 93, both rookies here, Nagy and the 24 of Steckley. Steckley will clear. Cameron there. Here's Powell. Matthew Kingsbury in the 75 just ahead. Of course, Cole Powell is going to run full-time in this fictional series. A Recipe Unlimited racing team. The Duro King 75 with CCM hockey equipment. Boss Claire and Fee on there as well. As Powell now looking to the inside. Is he going to get a nice clear? He's not clear. Again, the same thing we've seen. Can't really get clear off of 2. Can't really get clear off of 3, but it's off of 4 that they seem to have the best power, and they tend to clear off of 2 the next time. And it looks like he's going to do it this time by. He will. Cole Powell will move up another spot. Brett Taylor. Here's LP Dumoulin going by Mark Dilley. Alex Gannett, Gary Clute. Kevin Lacroix actually not running up as high as we were expecting. He, obviously, with the dominant performance at CTMP at the very first event, is the points leader coming into this race. But his other competitors are higher in the race so far. Brandon Watson, first start of the year for him. J.R. Fitzpatrick. And then here we have Alex Labbe in the DGM Canada number 90. Of course, an affiliation with Dumoulin Competition. They're running the number 90 Dodge. For a long time, actually, we saw Mario Gosselin here in the NASCAR Pinty Series. Now running exclusively in the Xfinity Series. DJ Kennington. And we see the standings up here pretty much not changed. Andrew Ranger running in 5th place. 4th for Lassard. 3rd for Pete Shepard. 2nd for Lapsevich. And your leader is still Alex Tagliani. We're going to keep an eye on the rest of the back of the field because there's more battles there. So we see Gemmell, Weller, Stacy. Here's another one. There's Garrett Teamersma, the rookie, going to the inside of Larry Jackson in the 84. They've got Malcolm Strawn ahead of them in the 56. Malcolm's actually dropped back quite a bit since the restart. 84 still battling on the outside. And, of course, I thank O'Neill Electric Supply as they actually do sponsor Larry Jackson. Beautiful looking 84 car in the NASCAR Pinty Series. A great company that we absolutely love seeing them come into this series. They had a great presence at CTMP. A lot of hospitality taking place. Their employees out to enjoy the weekend. But Garrett Teamersma is going to get by in the 67. He's going to stay low and allow the 84 to still get that run. Still charging into 3, but not able to make the move off of turn 4. And you got Sam Fellows there in the 98 just ahead of his teammate. There's Nags and Carson Nags, I guess we have to say now. And Donald Teach, Kyle Steckley have been making the most moves, as now Kyle Steckley going to the inside of the 75 of Matthew Kingsbury. He's going to bring Donald Teach with him. Of course, Teach last season in the NASCAR Pinty Series, unable to start the season due to an injury. He had Rafael Lassard run the 80 car for him, and pretty dominant events at Sunset Speedway, pulling off both race victories to start the season in a close battle with Pete Shepard that got a little bit feisty towards the end of the race, resulting in a altercation of sorts in victory lane. There we see the 93 pulling close to the 80, but Steckley has gotten by Kingsbury and is setting sail. Take a look at the number 24. He's got his teammate Marc-Antoine Camerand ahead of him. Cole Powell, you see now the 80 car making that run. Steckley now really trying to get in there and get by, making as many moves as he can. This rookie, of course, he's not alone in the rookie campaign here. Carson Nagy, of course, behind him. Seeing that number 24. And Brett Taylor makes the trip from out west. Runs with TCB trailers and winging it. Fast Eddie and Choco Authentics on the car. This is our Unilever Canada attempt. Love to see them. Of course, they're a huge partner with Dale Jr., Unilever, with their brands in the Xfinity Series. Obviously, we'd love to see Canada's version of Unilever, their brands, be a part of this series and rep some of Canada's best drivers. So we're going through a green stretch here. We had one caution early in the race. Shea Gemmell made contact with Donald Teague, spinning Teague around. Taking a look at our three-time champion, of course, our 2021 champion, LP Dumoulin in the Bellwether Tech Dodge. Really wasn't his championship until the final weekend. It looked like it was Tagliani's to lose, and unfortunately that is what it came down to. A very, very tough weekend for the 22 Racing team. Overall, Tagliani, Lapsevich, and Cameron all extremely fast, all had issues. A hard wreck for Tagliani with his teammate in the first race. And then an absolutely punishing hit for his teammate Lapsevich in the second race. And unfortunately, Cameron was not able to compete in the second race. Of course, we're talking about the races on Sunday. On the Friday night, Lapsevich lost in the final corner after contact with DJ Kennington. And Tagliani just wasn't very competitive in that race, unfortunately. Gary Clute is a driver we hope to see next season full-time. It sounds like he's leaning that way based off of some of his posts on social media. He's stating how he's excited to get back going and being on ovals again. I've seen Gary Clute full-time in quite a while, actually, since the Pioneer Pools days. I'd be really happy to see him. He's a very good representation for the series and for sponsors as a whole. He knows how to do it. And, of course, hosts a YouTube channel, Legendary Motorcar, formerly on BNN. They showcase their classic cars that they do work on. And of course, one of the most dominant and aggressive drivers in the series, Kevin Lacroix in the 74. Had kind of an off season last year. Look to see if he'll be more competitive this year. But it looks like we've got a lap car that's now what we're dealing with here. LeBay, Kennington. They've got Brent Weller, who was a surprise actually last year. We weren't expecting to see him on the grid, but he made his way out there. And, you know, despite having a bit of a rough couple of races, Weller did a really admirable job getting some good sponsorship on the car and making some small gains. That's what you need. And he did something that is not very easy, and that's making the jump from the Ontario Sportsman Series to the NASCAR Pinty Series. Of course, we'd love to see him back as well. Had some good help on the car. Brandon McFerrin, one of those names that was out there. Kevin Gallant helping him out. And of course, Kevin Gallant, a long-time veteran of short track racing in Ontario. And be very interested to see what Kevin does this year. If he's back in the Sportsman Series or if he runs elsewhere. One of my favorite rides, actually, on the Ontario Sportsman Series, the Presley's Pumpkin Patch 31. We take a look here at Rafael Lessard. He's closed in on Pete Shepard, who's trying to deal with the lap car of Dexter Stacy. This is when, obviously, races get a little more exciting because they got to deal with lap cars. As we see, Trayton Lapsevich in the number 20 car is closed in right behind the 18. They've got Larry Jackson up there. Shea Gemmell actually getting by some of the lap cars as well. Tags to the inside of Jackson. Gemmell has gotten past. So he's actually been able to make up some positions here. Stacy and Weller are the first lap cars that we see. Tagliani now to the inside, but it has brought Lapsevich and Shepard closed in. And Tag really has a lot of cars that he's going to have to get by here, because ahead of Gemmell, they've got Teamersma, then they've got Strawn, and then I believe it's Fellows And Tag just barely getting by Larry Jackson now off of turn 2. Lapsevich now looking to the inside in the number 20, who we're watching right now. So Gemmell now to the inside. So Gemmell's really done a great job because he's been able to get by. And it looks like Lapsevich might actually be able to get by Jackson a little quicker than Tagliani did, which is going to really help his cause to get the lead away from his teammate. He does seem to have a better car navigating through the traffic. As you see, Lessard now to the inside of Shepard. That battle just behind with a camera shot that we're showing you now. See right there, Lessard trying to go to the inside. It looks like he's going to get Shepard for third. We're still watching this battle for the lead here as Larry Jackson, oh geez, almost in the way there of the 07 of Lessard, but he will hold him off. Tiemersma, Garrett Tiemersma in the 67 for Promotive Racing, now ahead of your leader, Alex Tagliani. Trayton Lapsevich in second place. Rafael Lessard has now moved his way up into third. And we're looking at, it looks like Andrew Ranger's now closed in on fourth place Pete Shepard, and now he's looking to get by. So Tiemersma is going to go a lap down as Tagliani will clear out of 2. He's going to have to get by Shea Gemmell again if he wants to be able to lap him, and that might be a harder task than Tag is expecting. So Lapsevich now stuck behind the 67. It's not going to help his cause as Tag starts to dart away, because it's going to allow, as you see him coming in now, Rafael Lessard is really closing in. But of course, when they do have more lap cars in here, there is more of a chance of making contact. And it's really relatively a short race at 150 laps. So you don't have a lot of time to get away. And you have no time to waste really at all. You're watching Tagliani here. Just ahead of him, Shea Gemmell's looking at Malcolm Strawn in the 56. A lot of separation now from these guys here. All these cars that are close to going a lap down. See a battle here on the racetrack between the 47 of LP Dumoulin and the 52 of Alex Gannett. That is a battle for position. They've got Brent Weller. Gary Clute is trying to get by the 61 of Brent Weller ahead of him. Not able to at the moment. And that is going to allow Brett Taylor to get a run here on Mark Dilley, as well as we've got the 52 coming into pit road. Now, I'm not sure what that is for. They shouldn't need to pit, but we've got... Oh, no, it looks like they are. They are pitting. Looks like there is a need for pit stops as Tagliani and Lapsevich on pit road. Green flag stops. This is going to cause a lot of confusion as we come out of these. And we'll see who comes out with the best strategy. Everybody coming on pit road. Everybody making a pit stop. So we'll have to see who comes out with the lead here. You see Dexter Stacy staying out in the 92. Now this is always dangerous because in this simulation, sometimes cars stay out too long and then they run out of gas. Stacy will make his way to pit road. He was a lap car, so we'll see how that works. And there might be a lot of craziness with them coming off of pit road. Tires are being taken as well. Hopefully they don't make any contact on pit road. Lapsevich. Look at how close Lapsevich is to Tagliani after pit stops. He is right there. They're going to lap the entire field, it looks like. DJ coming back out. Lessard coming back out. Lessard's going to chop in front of Tagliani. Send him up high. That might be the battle for the lead there. I'm not entirely sure. We'll have to check it. As they come back around, it's Lessard, Lapsevich, and Tagliani. You see some of the lap cars coming out. Now, right in front of the leader is Tiemersma, and he was battling for his life there before. So this is going to put a lot of cars multiple laps down. So Tag going to the high side to get by Teamersma. Gemmell is back out in front of him. Lapsevich loses a position to the 07. I wasn't actually expecting to see pit stops, but lap 88, pit stops happen. I don't know if we're going to see any more. I think that would be it. But look at all of the traffic in front of the leader. He's got to get by some of the names that were a little bit slower as well. So Lapsevich battling here. He's currently second, but Taglioni's team, 22 Racing, with the best pit work to get him back out in front. And you see basically the cars that he was gonna lap before are the ones in front of him. So pretty good job by those guys. Malcolm Strawn's team, Shea Gemmell, Carson Nagy, Sam Fellows. As we see now, Trayton Lapsevich going to the inside of Teamersma. Let's go on board with Alex Taglioni in his battle to get by Malcolm Strawn. You see to the inside, on board Strawn, as Taglioni will get by. You got Lessard and Lapsevich behind Strawn right now. So Lessard looks like he's gotten by for second place, and he's gonna make a run, try and get to Taglioni here, but he doesn't have a lot of laps left. Remember, there's only 150 laps in this race, relatively short. But the really tough guy that Tag has to get by now is the guy that has been outrunning him all this race since going a lap down very early in the event, Shea Gemmell. In the 8 car for EHR, of course, one of the stout teams in the NASCAR Pinty Series that he would have to get by. Not an easy thing to do. But he's got a pretty good run at it. But Lessard now being in second place is somebody different that Tag has to battle against. And Taglioni has the distinction, I believe, of being the only driver to lap a field. And he did that at 300 lapper at Sunset Speedway many years ago. So right now your top 3 still stays Taglioni, but now Lessard into second place, Lapsevich is third. After those pit stops, I mean, we should probably, let's take you through the field here, but we'll keep the indications on so I have exactly know when you got 50 laps to go. 50 laps to go at Autodrome Montmagny. So right now, Taglioni is your leader, but he's trying to lap 23rd place on the racetrack, and that is Shea Gemmell. As he looks to the inside in the number 18 car. Ooh, careful there. Don't want to get too close. Don't want to make any contacts and send Gemmell around. Battle here. Gemmell's tried, and he's been out front for 100 laps, trying to get his, or at least a good chunk, maybe 80 laps. Caution came out in lap 20. But Shea Gemmell looks like he'll eventually fall 1 lap down to leader Alex Taglioni. It is allowing Rafael Lessard to close in a little bit. Carson Nagy sits in 22nd place, 21st for Sam Fellows, 20th for Cole Powell, 19th is Matthew Kingsbury. A good bit of a comeback here for the 80 car that spun on lap 20. Donald Teach sits 18th, 47 of LP Dumoulin sits 17th. How about this run from Kyle Steckley is into 16th place in the number 24 Toys R Us Canada machine. Brent Weller currently sits a lap down in 28th. Marc-Antoine Cameron is 15th. Brett Taylor 14th. 13th for Mark Dilley, and Gary Clute sits just outside the top 10 in 12th. Alex Gannett was one of the first cars to pit. He came back and is running 11th. Pete Shepard had a terrible pit stop and has fallen to 10th place. He was running up as high as second or third at some point. At one point. Not some point, one point. J.R. Fitzpatrick now falling behind Kevin Lacroix. He's running in a battle for 8th place as Lacroix going to the inside of the number 4. Brandon Watson sits in 7th. DJ Kennington still back in 6th place, but Alex LeBay is 5th. Dexter Stacy's running in 26th place, a lap down. Malcolm Strawn is 25th. Larry Jackson 24th. 4th place is Andrew Ranger, but he is closing in on the number 20 of Trayton Lapsovich. Gemmell is now 23rd, a lap down, but you see now Lessard has gotten by him, and he's starting to get closer to Alex Tagliani, and that would be a change for the lead that we have not seen. Rafael Lessard, has he been in a NASCAR Pinty Series event that he hasn't won? Well, just one, I believe. It's just GP3R. He's got a pretty good win percentage so far, and he's looking to the inside of Alex Tagliani for the lead. The first lead change of the race, and it's coming late in the event. Carson Nagy, the leader, trying to get by him, but now he has to look to the inside as Rafael Lessard in the 07 Canac Petro-Canada Dodge for Dumoulin competition to his inside at Autodrome Montmagny. And as of right there, he's got the lead, and he's trying to clear him. Still not clear on the backstretch. They head into turn 3. Tag's shoveling it in. It's not going to happen. Rafael Lessard is going to get the lead here. But the real battle is now he's going to have to try and get by Carson Nagy and not allow Alex Tagliani by. An interesting development here with Tagliani, a full-time competitor. He's lost this lead here, and they have a cushion. It looks like it should be between these two guys here. Trayton Lapsovich trying to get by Shea Gemmell, so he's still kind of behind this whole situation. So he might not have the opportunity to get there. 93 of Nagy has Sam Fellows ahead of him. We'll just take a look at our lap counter here. 114. They're almost under that 25 laps to go. And Lessard is starting to jet by and try to check out because he's trying to get underneath the 93 there. They're also going to have the lap car of Brent Weller coming back up again. And Lessard really came to life in this last couple of laps. And now that Lapsovich is trying to clear the 8 car, he might also get an opportunity to close in as the 07 battles with the 93 very late in the event. A dominating performance once again by Alex Tagliani, but unfortunately he is not going to win if he's going to stay that far behind. He's got now a lap car cushion. Tagliani now looking to get to the inside of Sam Fellows. He'll stay high. And then they've got the slower car of Brent Weller just ahead as well. It looks now that Lessard really is putting the pressure on, as he's actually looking so strong that he could potentially have a 2-car buffer, maybe even 3 cars in the next lap if he's able to get by Brent Weller as well. And that number 07 is pulling away. Lapsovich and Ranger now closing in on second place Tagliani. Now this is where they could have trouble if he's not able to get by a lap car, but I will say that the 07 car running so much faster, it appears, than everybody else. And he looks like he's going to clear the 61 heading into 3 here. And that would be a 3-car buffer for Rafael Lessard. And now the battle for second is where things are really going to be. Now look at all this traffic here too. Look at all these battles with lap cars. But we're going to pull right back up into this battle here, because it's actually going to be one of the more interesting battles. There's Larry Jackson, Shea Gemmell. But now we take a look. Here's the battle for second place. We're watching Andrew Ranger in the 51 as teammates Lapsovich to the inside of Tagliani for second. They've got the lap cars, 3 lap cars in front of them right now of Carson Nagy, Sam Fellows, and Brent Weller. And to the inside goes Lapsevich. It looks like he'll clear Tagliani. He will out of turn 1. So take Trayton Lapsevich and put him into second place. And now here comes the 51 of Andrew Ranger. He is looking to the inside. So all of a sudden, Alex Tagliani's dominant run sees him going from first to potentially off the podium. Now he is pretty safe. He's got a good distance between him and Alex Labay. But unfortunately, he has lost so much time and will fall more than likely to 4th place as he's trapped behind Carson Nagy on the high side. And Andrew Ranger now looking to the inside in the Jean Cousteau 51 for Rick Ware Racing. He will go to 3rd place. And Tagliani, unfortunately, will fall to 4th. Now there is a buffer between the leader. He is way out there now. I mean, I don't expect that Trayton Lapsevich is going to be able to catch up unless we get a caution flag, which we've only had one so far. Here is Rafael Lessard. We're looking at lap 127. They'll be coming around to get 20 laps to go. And unless they do get a caution, I really don't know if anybody's going to be able to get up there. The other question, too, is will anybody else need to pit? They all pitted around lap number 88. I don't expect that they'll need to pit again, but we'll have to see. I mean, the calculations of this game obviously are kind of preset, so I don't really know kind of where the teams are going to decide or where the cars are going to come in and pit. But right now, Lapsevich stuck behind Sam Fellows' number 98 car. Cole Powell and Matthew Kingsbury just ahead of your leader in the 07, Rafael Lessard, who looks pretty well set into taking the win. He's not going to run full time this year. That car will, with 2 different drivers. Isabel Tremblay will run on the road courses, and on the ovals is where we'll see Rafael Lessard. Of course, we'd love to see Rafael run in the Xfinity or the Truck Series next year. And if he's not going to run there full-time in the Pinty Series, would be awesome to see. Here's Alex Gannett. You see Mark Dilley in the 64. He's going to get underneath and get by the lap car of Garrett Tiemersma. Dilley actually having a pretty good run on that 64 Auto Value Chevrolet for White Motorsports. DJ Kennington just ahead. They've got the lap car. There's the DJ Kennington machine, the DeWalt Power Tools 17. So this is kind of your what they always used to call on the eye of the storm here, right? You got all these side-by-side cars here. So Labay is actually looks like he's catching Tagliani as well. And here's that battle for second place. Tagliani still trying to get by Carson Nagy, but there is that battle, and it is not a battle any longer, and it is done. Andrew Ranger into second place. He's gotten by the 20 of Trayton Lapsevich. Trayton having a hard time navigating by Sam Fellows. It's the lap traffic that's playing a role right now here in this race. And under 20 laps to go, Rafael Lessard has almost a full straightaway lead over Andrew Ranger and Lapsevich. Tagliani's still sitting back there in 4th. And he's got he's got 3-car buffer between him and Alex Labay. Sam Fellows sent up the track a little bit by Lapsevich. Lapsevich has had a hard time trying to get by the 98. He's going to pull underneath him right now as the 51's going to try and get by the 61 here. And this is what we said. This is what Rafael Lessard needed to do. He set out and he did it. He went and got a 3-car buffer. And Andrew Ranger now pulls ahead of the 61. And he'll set out to chase. Oh, contact there with Weller into 3. Contact there, and that was almost disaster for the 51 of Andrew Ranger. I don't know how much damage he may have gotten from that contact, but he's now on his own to set out and get Rafael Lessard. But let's take a lap count. I don't think he's got much time. They're going to come around with 11 laps to go here. Rafael Lessard is got lap traffic ahead of him while Andrew Ranger is clear, as is Trayton Lapsevich. They have 10 laps to come down and chase, but I don't think they have enough time to get out there and chase down Rafael Lessard. Lessard does have 1 car ahead of him. It's Cole Powell. Powell has a car ahead of him, and then there's a little bit more of a distance back to Donald Teague. So those are the cars that are really going to play a role in deciding whether or not Lessard gets held up too much. I don't think they will, because there's not too big of a gap, or there's a bit of a gap between them, so he can just run for right now. I don't think Ranger has enough time to get there. As you see, he's almost, they've kind of caught him back a little bit, but he's still almost got a full straightaway lead here. While the cars in front, there's a lot of cars actually in front of Lessard that could slow him down. The only other thing that could potentially happen is if they make contact, a caution could come out, but there's not a lot of time to get the race back underway either if that happens, so the race could finish under caution. They don't have green-white checkers in this simulation, so it's not going to happen. Raphael Lessard, though, he came. He's got 6 laps to take the checkered flag. Andrew Ranger, Trayton Lapsevich. It's been your normal competitors up at the front. LP Dumoulin struggling a bit here in this event. See him getting passed by Donald Teege, who was part of the only caution that we've seen in this event so far today. We've been lucky. No mechanical failures. No severe contact. And Raphael Lessard has looked to be the best of the drivers here in this event today. There's the 07 Canac Dodge. Really has not put a wheel wrong here. He had fallen back earlier in the race. He, I believe, had fallen back to 4th place early in this race, but really kind of, it was the pit stop that really made a difference, because what happened is that he came out right in front of Trayton Lapsevich and Alex Tagliani, which put him in that top 3 battle, and he made up a lot of time. Tag got out there, but looks like he used up his stuff. And we are going to see Raphael Lessard here try to hold on and win once again in the NASCAR Pinty Series. Complete and utter domination for him in his time in this series. White flag is out here at Autodrome Montmagny. Raphael Lessard in the Canac 07 for Dumoulin competition. He's going to come off 3, off 4, and see the checkered flag. He wins race number 2 in the NASCAR Pinty Series fictional season. Tag was the most dominant car today, but it was the 07 that outlasted them all, securing the race lead after pit stops, passing Tagliani, and he gets the victory. Andrew Ranger will finish in 2nd place in the 51 for Rickware Racing. Trayton Lapsevich will finish in 3rd. Let's get you your full results for this event. 28 cars ran the event today. 2 laps down for Brent Weller. He finishes in 28th place. 27th for Garrett Tiemersma. 26th for Malcolm Strong. 25th for Larry Jackson in the number 84. Carson Nagy finishes in 24th. Sam Fellows in 23rd. Dexter Stacy 22nd. An issue early in this race for Shea Gemmell put him off track. He finishes in 21st. Cole Powell in 20th, a lap down. 19th for Matthew Kingsbury. And an unlikely struggle of a day for LP Dumoulin. He will finish in the 18th place, 1 lap down. Donald Teege does recover from a tough start to the race in finishing in 17th. 16th for Marc-Antoine Camerand. 15th for Brett Taylor. Rookie Kyle Steckley comes from the back of the field to take 14th. And Alex Gannett runs 13th. 12th for Gary Clute. Just outside the top 10 for Mark Dilley. He finishes 11th. 10th for DJ Kennington. 9th for Kevin Lacroix, last week's winner. Should keep him in contention for the points lead. However, I do think he's got some other competitors that may have overtaken him in this points battle. Brandon Watson finishes 8th in his first race of the season. J.R. Fitzpatrick is in 7th. Pete Shepard finishes in 6th. Alex LeBay making limited starts this season. He finishes in 5th place. The most dominant car in the pole sitter, Alex Tagliani, he will finish in 4th place. And then, of course, your podium, Trayton Lapsevich 3rd, Andrew Ranger second, and 1.164 the final distance between first and second as Rafael Lessard picks up the victory. That is it for our 150 lapper here at Montmagny. Keep it tuned to the Stickers and Scuffs channel for more of the fictional season and more of the fictional series. Keep it tuned. We'll have our brand new episode with Jamie Maudsley, an interview with the voice of Delaware Speedway and the voice of the APC series, coming up on Tuesday at 7 o'clock, so make sure you check it out. I want to thank you guys for tuning in today. I really appreciate it. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and like this for more content. It really helps us out. Thank you all, guys.